last class we discussed about the charging section, section number 4. What is the charging section? Every person whose total income of the previous year, if the total income of the previous year exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, that is only we can call it as an basic exemption limit. Now that person can be called as an SSC. He is required to pay the tax under Income Tax Act 1961 under Finanaceact tax rates relevant to the assessment year. Okay. In that all the definitions are over. Now we are stuck in the tax rates. Yes. Shall we start, ma? Yes. So in tax rates already we discussed how to calculate tax liability under Income Tax Act 1961. We have to calculate 3 components. All these 3 components together we can call it as a tax liability. First one, income tax liability. Second one, surcharge. Next one, health and education cess. Income tax liability means nothing but some incomes can be normal, some incomes can be special. Normal incomes related, what are the tax rates we can apply, ma? Old rates, new rates. Any one, your option only. But special incomes related, always you have to apply special tax rates. Special tax rate. For June examinations, yes sir, version 4 and 3 is not applicable. Remember, one student asked the daughter, remember, for your June 26 version 5 books only applicable. Version 3 and version 4 only for December 25. Okay. Now, special tax rates related, we have to, special income related, we have to apply what, ma? Special tax rate. Now, after calculating income tax liability, we have to calculate surcharge only on rich persons or poor, ma? Rich. How to decide rich and poor? Based on total income. Okay. Based on total income, we can decide the surcharge rates. But that surcharge rates is applied on what, ma? Income tax liability. That surcharge rates required to be applied on income tax liability. And after adding income tax liability and surcharge together, on that we are required to calculate 4%, that is only health and education cess. Now, we'll calculate the tax rates and we will know about the tax rates related to individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Why we are adding all these persons as an etc.? Any idea? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. For all these persons, we will discuss the one type of tax rates only. What is the reason? For all these persons, what is that? Section is default one, ma? 115 BAC. What is the default tax rate for these? All these fellows, ma? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Yes, ma? 115 BAC. Next, and these are the only persons having that what, ma? Basic exemption limit. These are only persons having that what, ma? Basic exemption limit. And one more reason we can say, what is the default tax regime for these fellows, ma? 115 BAC. Always the tax rates we will discuss same for whom, ma? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Shall we start? Yes. Give the heading. In tax rates point, what is the tax rates point, ma? F. In that we'll discuss one by one, ma. First, for whom we will discuss the tax rates, ma? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. For all these persons, now we will discuss the applicable tax rates, ma. Yes. Now I want to tell you, these are all SSCs can follow the any one of the 2 regimes, ma. Any one of the 2 regimes. First one, section 115 BAC. AC subsection 1A. You can call it as an 115 BAC, or you can call 115 BAC subsection 1A. Next one, default tax regime. This is only we can call it as what ma? Default tax regime. Next we can call it as what ma? New regime, newly introduced regime. So that's why we can call it as what ra? New regime also. How many names ma? 3. 115 BAC or 115 BAC subsection 1A, default tax regime, new regime. Clear up to now? Now. No sir, I don't want to follow 115 BAC 1A. I don't want to follow 115 BAC 1A. Now, what I can follow ra? Yes, you can shift out or opt out to the next section. Sorry, next regime. What is that? Normal tax rates. What is that ma? Normal tax rates. Another name ma? Normal tax rates, or we can call it as an old regime. Yes sir, old regime, or we can call it as an optional. Now this will become the what ma? Optional rates. Yes, students said that one more, regular. Okay, but in our examination or books we have only these three. If regular regime also, yes sir, I can say regular means nothing but previously this regime having the name of regular, not now. We can't say regular regime means nothing but which one we have to follow regular also, that is depends upon which of SSC only. Now, what are the rates ma? Optional rates, old regime or normal tax rates. So first default one what ma? 115 BAC 1A. Sir, in this 115 BAC 1A default new regime, no need to check residential status, no need to check age also. Already we discussed at the time of basic exemption limit. Yes sir, we are given the basic exemption limit common for all, whether you are a non-resident or resident, irrespective of age. What is the basic exemption limit we given ma? 4 lakh. So that's why under 115 BAC, either non-resident also, resident also, irrespective of age limit, always same tax rates we can follow. Shall we discuss what are the tax rates under section 115 BAC? And first point you should remember here, yes sir, no need to check what ma? No need to check age. Next one, or residential status. No need to check age or residential status. Shall we start? What are the tax rates are there ma? So now I am discussing the income tax rates. What is that ma? Income tax rates. Income tax rates are useful for calculating which tax liability ma? Income tax liability. For this income tax liability I required to add surcharge. Last I have to add health and education cess. Now 0 to 4 lakh, how much ma? Nil. How you know? Based on basic exemption limit concept. Next one ma? 4 lakh 1 rupee to 8 lakh. Next slab 8 lakh to 12 lakh. Next slab 12 lakh to 16 lakh. Next one ma? 16 lakh to how much ma? 20 lakh. Next one ma? 20 lakh to 24 lakh. Next one ma? Above 24 lakh. Then what is the rate, sir? Yes, sir, income increases all the slabs. What is that amount ma? 5 lakh increments. sorry, 4 lakh increments. 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24, above 24. Now rate will increase by the 5%. Please tell me ma, 5, 10, 15, 20, yes ma, 25, next one ma, 30. No need to remember, yes sir, how to calculate these things, slabs, etc. Yes sir, every slab, what is the amount not required, but remember slabs as well as rates, easily we can compute the tax liability. Basic exemption limit 4 lakh and after 4 lakh, every 4 lakh income increases, what is the slab will increase ma? 5%. Previous limits you know na? Before amendment. Before amendment, yes sir, 0 to 3 lakhs, 3 to 7 lakh, 7 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 15, above 15. But on that occasion, every time the rate also increases 5%, but there is no 25% slab. There is no 20% slab. 25% slab, there is no. But remember, you have to remember these rates only. No need to remember earlier rates. For your examination, these are the only rates for 115 BAC subsection 1A. Next page I want to take income tax rates discussion is over. Now I want to discuss the what ma? Surcharge rates. If you followed the 115 BAC, yes, we discussed about the what ma? 115 BAC rates. Now I want to discuss the, yes sir, next what ma? Surcharge rates. Shall we start ma? Yes. Yes, surcharge rates. Any idea about surcharge rates ma? Huh? But while discussing the surcharge rates, now I am discussing the surcharge rates for individual, HUF, next one ma, AOP, POI, next one ma, AOP, POI, next one ma, AJP, but exclude one AOP now. Yes ma, exclude one AOP. Other than, yes ma, other than AOP consisting only companies as in members. Consisting only companies as members. I think you know, in association of person who can become the members ma, any person. Example, I will erase, no need to write it down. In this AOP, one company and one partnership firm and yes sir, one individual is members. Another AOP now I want to tell you, company 1, company 2, company 3 is only members. Now, for which AOP above surcharge rates will not applicable ma? If AOP consisting only companies as a members, for that AOP above surcharge rates will not applicable. I will tell you separately at the end. So now for this AOP, yes, above surcharge rates will applicable. In the AOP, only companies consisting as a members, for them I will tell you separately. Clear? Now, how to decide the surcharge rates ma? By using the total income. So total income is nothing but deciding factor for levying the surcharge. Now, please let me know, for individual HA of AOP, BOI, AJP, when we can levy the surcharge ma? If the total income, what is that ma? Total income. If the total income is less than or equal to 50 lakh ma, Yes, you are in poor only. No need to pay surcharge here. Surcharge not required to pay here because we considered you as an poor here because your total income is less than how much ma? 50 lakh. Now total income is more than 50 lakh but less than how much ma? 1 CR. Now what is the surcharge rate ma? 10%, but this 10% required to be applied on income tax. Now more than 1 crore, less than or equal to 2 crore. More than 1 crore, less than or equal to 2 crore. Now what is the surcharge rate ma? 15% of income tax. 15% of income tax. Next ma, more than 2 crore. What is that? More than 2 crore. Above 2 crore, whatever the total income you have, yes, but now what is the surcharge rate ma? 25% of income tax. Remember, surcharge rates always required to be applied on income tax only. For deciding a rate of surcharge, what we have to compare? Total income. Now I have a doubt. My total income is 3 crore. Now surcharge rates, yes sir, 3 crore means now I am falling in this slab. First I need to apply 10, no, 15. After that I have to apply 25. A direct rate I have to take. Direct rate. Remember, many students are confusing while taking the surcharge rate. Surcharge rate, how we can take ma? Directly. 3 crores means you are in this. That's why 25% of income tax. 1.5 crore ma now 15%. Now I am asking one question. What is that maximum surcharge rate if you taken the 115 BAC section 25? Maximum surcharge rate is nothing but how much ma? 25 only. Clear? Now. So, but one person related we have to discuss. Who is that person ma? AOP consisting only companies as a members. For that we have to discuss the surcharge rates. After few minutes I will discuss. Now I want to start the, yes sir, what is that regime? Optional regime, old regime, normal tax regime. Now I will discuss. Sir, when we can follow these regimes ma? Any idea? Yes. If you don't want to follow these, then you can shift out or opt out from the default to which one ma? Normal, old, optional. That facility given in which section? Remember that facility given in section 115 BAC subsection 6. In Income Tax Act 1961, one section given ma? What is the section? 115 BAC subsection 6. If you want to follow this regime, you can follow. Otherwise, we are providing an option to shift out from the 115 BAC to the normal tax regime. So what is the section number ma? 115 BAC subsection 6. Option given for shift out or opt out. In exam, individual exercised this option means he is following which regime? Normal tax rates or old or optional. Again I am repeating, SSC exercised this option means he is already shifted to which regime? Old regime, optional or normal. Please write it down. Given an option, yes ma, given an option to what ma? Given an option to shift out or opt out, shift out or opt out from which regime ma? Default tax regime. Default tax regime. That is section 115 BAC subsection 1A. In exam, they can express this sentence in anywhere. SSE opted this section means nothing but he's chosen the which regime? Optional regime. Clear? So in this regime, what are the income tax rates we have? We can discuss. Yes, we can discuss. Yes. Now, here I can ask one question. That in this regime, we have to check age as well as what residential status. Based on that only, we given the what basic exemption limit. We are classifying the persons into based on what age as well as residential status. In first, we have an whom? Yes, sir. In the first, we have an whom? Individual whom? Non-resident or resident less than how many years? 60 years. Next one HUF. Next one AOP. Next one BOI. Next one AJP. For these, what is that basic exemption limit What is that basic exemption limit 2,50,000. So 2,50,000 is a basic exemption limit. After 2,50,000, what is the next slab Yes sir, there is no tax liability. Next 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, what is that 5%. 5 lakh to yes 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%. Next above 10 lakh 30%. So one category is over. What is that category Individual, resident or non-resident. Sorry. Here one mistake committed. What is that? Non-resident or resident having the age of 60 less than how many years 60. Next HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Next shall we discuss one more Which category Resident individual, because HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP is over. Individual only pending. Who isn't pending Resident individual having that age more than or equal to 60 years, less than 80 years. Less than how many years 80 years. What is the rate He is a senior citizen, right? We can call this fellow as an what senior citizen. Senior citizen or very senior citizen? Senior citizen. Now what is the basic exemption limit for him 3 lakh. 0 to 3 lakh nil. Next slab 3 lakhs to 5 lakh 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%. Above 10 lakh how much? 30%. Now one more category pending Can you tell me which category? Resident individual only having that more than or equal to how many years of age 80 years. Now we can call this fellow as an super senior citizen or very senior citizen. Super senior citizen or very senior citizen. Super senior citizen or very senior citizen. Shall we? Now what is that? Basic exemption limit 5 lakh. Entire 5 lakh is what exempt. Now next slab generally we have an 5 lakhs below only. Second slab also in all cases what 5 lakh below only. Now here 5 lakh up to 5 lakh what basically exempt. Next step 5 lakh to 10 lakh. What is the rate? 20%. So remember here, there is no 5% slab. There is no 5% slab. Next one, ma, above 10 lakh, 30%. So remember here, there is no 5% slab. Why? 5% rate of tax we can collect only if that income is below 5 lakh. Here itself, below 5 lakh is what, ma? Exempt. Now, surcharge we have to discuss. What is that, ma? Surcharge we have to discuss. In order to maintain the uniformity, that's why I am maintaining the same lines, ma. So surcharge rates under which regime now we want to discuss? Huh? Old regime or optional or what, ma? Normal. In any name also you have to remember. Now, for whom we can learn the surcharge, ma? Individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. But we can exclude the one type of AOP. Who is that AOP, ma? AOP consisting company only as an members. Now, shall we? Next, for determining the surcharge, what is the base we have to take, ma? Total income. Individual HUF, AOP, BOI, their total income we have to check. Based on that, we can decide the surcharge rate. Shall we discuss, ma? Yes, first one, below 50 lakh or equal to 50 lakh, no need of any surcharge. More than 50 lakh, less than or equal to 1 crore, then we have to levy the surcharge at the rate of how much, ma? Any idea? 10%. But 10% required to be applied on. 10% required to be applied on what, ma? Income tax. 10% of what, ma? Income tax. Next one, more than 1 crore, less than or equal to 2 crore, how much? 15% of income tax. 15% of what, income tax. Next, more than 2 crore, next one, ma? Less than or equal to 5 crore. More than 2 crore, less than or equal to 5 crore. How much, ma? 25% of income tax. 25% of income tax. Next slab, ma, any idea? More than 5 crore. More than 5 crore. How much, ma? 37% of income tax. 37% of income tax. So now can I ask the one question? What is that maximum surcharge rate in case of SSE following the old regime, optional regime or normal regime? What is the rate, ma? 37%. Clear, ma, up to now? Next, what are the things are done, ra? Individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Income tax rates done in both the regimes also. Surcharge rates also we know. But in surcharge rates, we excluded one type of AOP. Then what are the surcharge rates are applicable for that AOP? Now we have to discuss, shall we? For whom now we are discussing the surcharge rates, ma? AOP consisting only companies as an members. Please give the heading. Companies consisting only members as an members in Verma AOP. Sorry, AOP consisting of companies only as an members. So what is the rates of surcharge for that SSE? Maximum rate is how much, ma? 15. How it will be, I will tell you. Surcharge rate for, yes, surcharge rates for AOP consisting only companies as a members. Here also we can follow the same basics, ma. Here also we can follow the same basics. What is the basic? Total income. Sir, based on the total income only we can decide. Okay. Total income. Next one, ma. Surcharge rate. When we can levy the surcharge, ma? If total income is less than or equal to 50 lakh, no need to levy any surcharge. This basic point we know already. But now we have to discuss the, yes ma, more than 50 lakh, less than or equal to 1 crore. That is only the next slab, right? That is only what, ma? Next slab. What is the rate, ma? Yes, rate also, you know already. How much, ma? 10% of income tax, right? Next. More than 1 crore. Always it is fixed. There is no higher slabs, ma. So normally 1 crore to 2 crore, more than 2 crores like that we have. But in case of companies in case of AOP consisting only who are members, ma? Companies. For that more than 1 crore means directly 15% of income tax. 15% of what, ma? Income tax. Next, ma. So in person definition, already we completed the tax rates for individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. In person definition, next for whom we have to know about the tax rates. Ma, any idea? Huh? You ever wish? Next we can start about the for whom. Form including LLP. Form including LLP, and we have to add local authority also for them. Why? The same tax rate, same surcharge rates are applicable for both. Uma, partnership firm including LLP. Next one, ma, local authority. For this, we have to discuss the tax rate. What is that heading we given? Star mark. Second star mark. For whom we can discuss, ma, now? Partnership firm including LLP. Partnership firm including LLP. Next one, ma, or local authority. Clear, ma? Shall we discuss partnership firm including LLP as well as what, ma? Local authority. Already you know, if any person is having the basic exemption limit, for them we are following the slab rates. If there is no basic exemption limit, we are required to follow the what, ma? Flat rates. So this is a basic rule already you know. If there is any basic exemption limit, which rates, ma? Slab rates. So there is no basic exemption limit means flat rates. Now for these SSEs, which rates will apply, ma? Flat rates will apply because they don't have any basic exemption limit. Now, please remember, now I will tell you income tax rates. For these fellows, what is it? Income tax rates. So simple one rate, what is that, ma? The rate of 30%. 30 or any amendment, ma? Hey, 30 only, there is no amendment here. How much rate, ma? 30. Now I want to discuss the what, ma? Surcharge rates. For whom we are discussing, ma? Partnership firm, LLP as well as local authority. Shall we discuss surcharge? No. For just for comparing with the next discussions, now I am presenting in a different manner. So for comparing with the next discussions, I am presenting in a different manner. So normally, surcharge when we can levy, ma? If total income crosses the limit. So now, in this I am given the total income. Yes, sir. What is that, ma? Total income. More than 1 crore, less than or equal to 10 crore. So now again I am classifying total income is, yes, ma? Total income is more than how much, ma? 10 crore. Now in these cases, what is the surcharge rate I want to know? Surcharge rate now we are discussing for whom, ma? Partnership firm, LLP as well as for whom, ma? Cooperative society. Sorry. Local authority. Yes, how much, sir? Remember, 12%. Here, ma? 1 crore exceeds, then they are required to pay surcharge. This 12% applied on what, ma? Income tax only. But when it is increases the 10 crores, when it is exceeds the 10 crore, then what is that? 12% only. Sir, why you are written, sir? In order to compare with the company surcharge, here I am presenting like this. When the partnership firm or LLP local authority income exceeded the 1 crore, always surcharge is 12%. Always surcharge rate is 12%. Clear? Done. రిటనా ఎక్కడ ఆలోచిస్తున్నావు? నెక్స్ట్ yes ma'am. Company for Income Tax Act 1961 purposes, always we want to classify the companies into two, ma. One is an Indian or domestic company, another one foreign company. Okay, in your law you can convert that companies into many types, but here only two types, Indian, foreign. So now first we'll discuss the tax rates relating to domestic company. What is that, ma? Tax rates relating to domestic company. Shall we start? Yes, give the heading, domestic company. Here domestic company also having two regimes, ma. How many regimes? Two. Shall we start that? What are the two regimes also? Yes. Yes, ma. First one, normal. Yes, ma. First one, normal tax rates. Yes, sir. Normal tax rates, or we can call it as what, ma? Old regime. So now newly introduced one, ma. So that's why this is an what, ma? Optional. Yes, sir. This is an optional tax regime. For whom we are discussing? For domestic company, not for foreign company. For domestic company now we are discussing. Why? Sorry? Different. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Okay. In case of individual only, that is applicable. Individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. So that's over. Okay. I will tell you. So companies normally, if they want to file the return of income, so defaultly this normal rates only will be there in the return of income websites also. In website, which rates will be there, ma? Normal rates. So this is an old only. But in order to encourage our domestic companies, they are given the one optional regime. You can follow that if you don't want to follow normal. If you don't want to follow normal, you can follow optional. Remember, previously also individual HUF, AOB, BOI, AJP, yes sir, this is only normal one. Default one also this one only. But if you don't want to follow this, you can shift to this previously. But now they are making the default which regime? 115 BAC 1A. Okay. Many students having the confusion regarding the regimes only. In case of individual, which one is a default? Just pratisari. Okay. Please tell me, ma. Which one is a default one, ma? 115 BSc. Next. One one five BSc subsection 1A is nothing but what, ma? Default one. But if you don't want to follow the default one, option given in this section, you can follow normal, old or optional. This is a newly given regime. Now, in case of domestic company, which one is there? Yes, sir. In case of domestic company, which one is there, ma? Normal regime is there, as well as what, ma? Old regime. This is only default one. Yes, but I am eligible to take the optional, sir. Yes, you can go and you can take that also. Are you clear? Next. What is a normal tax rates? What is a normal tax rate? ఇంకో మైక్ ఉంది అది తీద్దాం అనుకున్నా వద్దులే నెక్స్ట్ మా what is the normal tax rates for the domestic company, ma? Yes, first we can discuss the income tax rates. What is that, ma? Income tax rates. What are the income tax rates, ma? Any idea? Yes, I will tell you. If you want to know about the income tax rates of an which company, ma? Domestic company, for which previous year? 25-26, and which assessment year? 26-27. Am I right? Yes. For this year you want to know the tax rates. You have to check. You have to check. Yes, ma'am. Turnover or gross receipt. Turnover or gross receipts in previous year, can you tell me? 25, 26, remember, if they are mentioned as in 25, 26, simply we can alter this year turnover. Alter means what? Change. Last year's also we can change easily, because yes sir, in February month itself we are receiving the budget. In that budget only we are receiving this tax rate. Simply present year and preceding year turnovers, if they are mentioned, easily we can alter to get the benefit. So that's why in this always they are given the 20, yes sir, 3, 24. Nothing but immediately preceding year or that before year, before year. What is the reason, ma? If they are given these, yes sir, previous year turnover here, simply we can alter the turnovers. They are given the turnover or gross receipts in the previous year 23, 24 does not exceed, how much, ma? Does not exceed, any idea? Rupees 400 crores. How much amount? Rupees 400 crores. Then rate will be 25%. Rate will be how much amount, ma? 25%. Next, ma. Other domestic company. Yes sir, other domestic company. What is that? Other domestic company means what, ma? If turnover or gross receipts exceeds 400 crores. Yes sir. In this case, what is the rate, ma? 30%. 25 or 30% depends upon what, ma? Turnover or gross receipts in which year? 23, 24. Next, suppose if they are given in the act as an 25, 26, simply always, even though 400 crores exceeded also, I can alter to less than what, ma? 400 crores. Last year also, if they are given, automatically I can do change in the turnover. So that's why always in act, while mentioning the domestic company tax rates, they will give present year, no, previous year, no, immediately preceding previous year, before year they will give. Yes sir. Next, ma, we are discussed about the, yes sir, income tax rates for the domestic company now. So after knowing that income tax rates, then next point is what, ma? Surcharge. Shall we start surcharge rates? What is that, ma? Surcharge rates. Yes. Now, what is the trigger point for knowing the surcharge, ma? Total income. If the total income crosses 1 crore, less than or equal to 10 crore, one type, ma. Next one, ma? Total income, like partnership firm, LLP, local authority, ma. This is only we discuss. More than 1 crore, less than 10 crore. Next one, ma? More than 10 crore. Any idea? Yes sir. For whom we are discussing, ma? Domestic company. What is the rates, ma? 7%, 12%. 7% as well as what, ma? 12%. %, as well as 12. Any doubt, ma? Okay. Now, sir, company that is a domestic company wants to follow the optional tax regime, sir. Yes, they can follow optional tax regime. How many sections given in this optional tax regime? Any idea? 1 section 115BA. What is that, ma? 115BA. Yes, sir. Next 2 section 115BAA. 115BAA. Third one, section 115BAB. For whom these tax rates are given, ma? For domestic company. If they don't want to follow the normal regime or what, ma? So normal tax rates or old regime, they can follow optional. What are the optional tax rate section numbers for domestic company? 115BA, 115BAA, 115BAB. Now, shall we start one by one, ma? First 115BA, so normally it is not at all there now. It is not at all there. Again I am repeating, it is not at all there. No need to think about it also. Okay. 115BA. But we have to remember in CMA final examination still they are asking 115BA. This is not at all there practically also, but they are asking. That's why we have to remember. Just pay 25%, that's enough, ma. Normally you are required to pay what, ma? In normal 25% or what, ma? 30% you are required to pay. Now no need to pay 30, sir. Just how much, ma? 25. And surcharge is depending upon the total income, that may be 7% or 12%. Last one, ma, health and education cess is nothing but 4%. This surcharge is depending upon total income, that you have to remember. Depending on total income. Depending on what, ma? Total income. Are you clear? Now 115BAA I will discuss after some time, ma. Now I will start the 115BAB. Directly I will start the 115BAB. Which companies can choose the 115BAB, ma? All companies? No. Yes, sir. Whom? Domestic manufacturing companies. Not only domestic but manufacturing. Domestic manufacturing companies. Yes, ma? Domestic manufacturing companies, if these two conditions are satisfied. Condition 1, condition 2. Shall we start, ma? First condition, set up and registered. Yes, ma? Set up and registered on or after. What date, ma? On or after. You have to remember this date, ma. 1/10/2019 and on or after the date you have to set up and register. Next, commencement of business means what, ma? So production started. Commencement of business. Any idea? Commencement of business on or before, on or what, ma? Before 31st March 2024. If these two conditions are satisfied, then only we can take the 115BAB. What is that 115BAB, ma? Domestic manufacturing company and set up and registered on or after 1/10/2019. Commencement of business on or before what, ma? 31st March 2024. So now they are given the rate. Please check it out, ma. What is the rate they are given, ma? Just 15% plus surcharge fixed, ma, 10%. and health and education cess is in 4%. All together, please calculate total and tell me, ma. Please calculate total and tell me. 17.16. Effective rate, please calculate. So don't do addition of that all the things. Anyone can do that. Effective means, so this is an income tax rate. On this we are required to collect what, ma? Surcharge. On these two we are required to calculate education cess. That's why please take calculator. 15 plus 10% plus 4%. How much you will get, ma? 17.16. Concession or not, ma? Yes, use concession only, because in order to encourage the domestic manufacturing companies, they are given just how much rate, ma? 15. Now, other domestic companies. All other domestic companies now required to follow S115BAA. If that section satisfies, these conditions are satisfied, BAB. Otherwise what, ma? BAA. In BAA, they are given the tax rate as an 22% and surcharge also fixed 10% and 4% health and education cess. Please calculate effective rate, ma. 25.168 you will get. 25 point what, ma? 168. Clear? $25.168 you will get. Anamma. Now, domestic company related is also over. If domestic company is over, then next whom? Foreign company. Shall we start foreign company related? For foreign company, we have an only one regime. There is no two regimes. Only one. Sir, after completion of this tax rates discussion, I will tell you for which SSEs we have an two regimes, for which SSEs we have an one regime also. But try to remember, as of now we discussed the individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Which regime is default one, ma? 115 BSc. Other names, ma? Default one, 115 BSc, new regime. So, no need to follow this one mandatorily, sir. We have an option to shift out. That option given under section 115 BSc subsection 6. So, if you opt out or shift out, then which regime you have to follow? Old regime. That is only called as normal or optional. But for partnership firm, local authority, LLP, we have an only one regime. Domestic company, we have an two, ma. Which one is default, ma? Normal only default. If you don't want to follow the normal, you can follow the optional also. BA, BAA, BAB. Which section, ma? 115. Now, foreign company. Yes, sir. Now we can discuss the tax rates relating to foreign company. Yes, ma. Foreign company. Now, remember, what is the tax rate for foreign company? Any idea? 35%. So, last year amendment, not present year amendment. What is it? 35%. Generally, 40. I think in your intermediate level, you read it this provision as an 40. But what is that amendment? 35 only. Now also 35. Now also how much, ma? 35. Foreign company tax rate. Yes, sir. How much, ma? 35. But before that, yes, in some cases, we have an 50% tax liability also for foreign company. Shall we discuss that cases, ma? Yes. Royalty. In non-resident taxation, I will tell you in a clear way, but as of now, you have to write it down. Royalty and FTS means what do you mean by the FTS, ma? Fees for technical service. Royalty income or fees for technical service received by foreign company. FC means what, ma? Foreign company from Indian government. From whom, ma? Indian government or Indian concern. Concern means entity. Indian concern means Indian entity who are receiving the royalty or fees for technical services related income, foreign company from whom, Indian government or Indian concern. Now in such a case, we have to check the agreement. We have to check what, ma? Agreement. If that agreement relating to royalty, yes. If that agreement related to what, ma? FTS. If that agreement related to royalty or if that agreement related to what, ma? FTS. In between these two dates, if entered. Yes, sir. Now, royalty related agreement dates, ma? Any idea? Yes, they are given 1/4/1961 to, yes, ma? 1/4/1961 to 31st March 1976. In between the two dates, if you entered with the Indian government or Indian concern, yes, sir, agreement, can you tell me entered into agreement with the whom? Indian government or Indian concern who are entered, ma? Foreign company. Now, FTS related agreement dates, ma? 1/3/1964 to 31st March 1976. End date is same for both agreements. Starting date you have to remember. Okay. In such cases, they are asking the tax liability or they are asking the tax rate. Any idea? 50%. Maybe you are assuming it as an okay, these conditions are mentioned. So that's why maybe the tax rate is less than 35. No. More than 35, that is what, ma? 50. In other cases, ma, can you tell me in other case what is that? 35. In other case, that is what, ma? 35. So the dates also you have to remember in final level. In intermediate level, we can say only one rate. What is the rate? 35. So in person definition, almost all SSCs related, sorry, all persons related tax rates we discussed. Ma, what are that? Please check it out. In person definition, if you open, yes, sir, for whom we discussed, ma? Individual dana tax rates, HUF, partnership firm, LLP, company two types, domestic company, foreign company, AOP, BOI, local authority, AJP also done. But in AJP, we differentiated the one example, who is that, ma? Cooperative society. If we discuss the cooperative society tax rates, then entire discussion will be over. Shall we discuss cooperative society tax rates, ma? Yes. After this, I will give a break. Now we have to start with the cooperative societies tax rate. Ma? Oh, sorry. Oh. We can discuss the surcharge relating to. Yes, ma. Surcharge. Any idea? The same limits we have to take like domestic company, ma. Surcharge. Total income. When we can levy the surcharge, ma? In case of foreign company, total income more than 1 crore, less than or equal to 10 crore. More than 10 crore. Yes, what is it? Yes, ma. For which company? Foreign company. Yes, sir. Any idea? 2%, 5%. Now I will tell you one logic. In case of domestic company, ఎవరిదరా లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లానేగా మైక్ నేను చేశాడు ఆయన నిన్నంతా బాగానే ఉందిగా నో సార్ వాట్ ఈస్ అ డొమెస్టిక్ కంపెనీ ట్యాక్స్ రేట్ మా ట్యాక్స్ రేట్ 25 ఆర్ వాట్ మా 30 బట్ వాట్ ఈస్ అ ఫారెన్ కంపెనీ ట్యాక్స్ రేట్ మా 50 ఆర్ 35 already we levied the more and more tax rate while levying the surcharge. Yes, here 2%, 5% is enough. Yes, 7 or what ma 12. Many students are writing in a reverse way. Foreign company, we want to levy the more surcharge, not required. Why? We are already levied the more income tax. That's why surcharge needs to collect at a low, that is in 2.5. But domestic company 7.12. Now, last cooperative society. Please write it down. Next, cooperative society. Cooperative society. Yes, ma'am. Cooperative society. Yes, sir. How you can take, we can discuss, ma'am. For cooperative society, we have two regimes. How many regimes? Two. Yes, sir. What are the two regimes, ma? Here also the same like a domestic company. Same like as an what, ma? Domestic company. First we have an what, ma? Normal rates. Normal tax rates. Sir, if you don't want to follow the normal tax rate, yes, they are given the what, ma? Optional tax rates. They are given the what, ma? Optional tax rates. Now I will tell you. So there is a general rule, if any person having the basic exemption limit, slab rates will applicable. If there is no basic exemption limit, flat rates will applicable. But for that rule, this is an exception. Cooperative society basic exemption limit is how much, ma? Nil. If you observe that earlier we discussed, what is that basic exemption limit for that cooperative society, ma? Nil. Even though now we are following the slab rates only. For all these we are discussing what are flat rates. But cooperative society is still following the which rates, ma? Slab rate. Already you know what is the reason. Cooperative society is not profit motive. Okay, they can earn some small profits. That is not a profit maximization objective. So they can earn minimum profits only. So that's why minimum profits required to be taxable by using the what, ma? Slab rates. Now, first I will discuss the income tax rates, ma. First I will discuss the income tax rates. In which regime, ma? Normal tax rates. Up to 10,000 exempt, no, 10%. 10,000 1 rupee 2. Yes, ma? 20,000. What is that, ma? 20%. Yes, sir. Above 20,001, 30%. Remember, there is no basic exemption limit. 1 rupee if you have also 10% you have to pay. That means 100 rupees I have, ma. In this slab, can you tell me how much amount of tax you are required to pay? 10%. Next, surcharge. What is the surcharge rate we are required to pay, ma? Yes, what is the surcharge rate we are required to pay? Same like domestic company. Same like domestic company which is following the, yes sir, normal regime. Total income, can you tell me how much, ma? More than 1 crore but less than how much, ma? more than 1 crore, less than or equal to 10 crore. Total income more than how much ma? 10 crore. Yes. So now cooperative society, yes sir, cooperative society, yes, what is the surcharge rates? 7, 12. Remember always cooperative society, domestic company in tax levy having the same points. Yes. Now, how many optional tax rate sections are there? If they want to follow normal, yes, they can follow normal ma. If they want to follow normal, yes, they can follow normal. Otherwise, they can follow what ma? Optional. What are the sections we have in optional? Any idea? 115 BAD, 115 BAE we have. How many sections we have ma? 2. First one, section 115 BAD. Next we have in what ma? Second one we have in section 115 BAE we have. These two only we have. Yes ma? Same points you can copy it from the 115 BAB. What is that ma? Manufacturing or other than manufacturing? Manufacturing. Domestic, yes, here also you can write resident, domestic, yes ma, resident, domestic, manufacturing, sorry, resident or domestic, one and the same. Resident, manufacturing, cooperative society. Now what is that point ma? Satisfying the two conditions ma. First condition, but dates you have to change ma. First condition, set up and first condition is related to what ma? Set up and registered. Set up and registered. On or after how much? Sorry, what is the date ma? On or after 1/4/2023. In previous 1/10/2019. Now, commencement of business. Commencement of business. Now, on or before last day of this previous year, that is 31st March 2024. On that also I think date same, 31st March 2024. Now, if these conditions are satisfied, what is the rate ma? Rate same, 15 plus surcharge fixed how much? 10% plus 4%. Effectively it will be 17.16 percentage. 17.16 percentage. Next one ma, any other domestic or resident, other resident, yes ma, cooperative society, other resident cooperative societies. Yes, can you tell me what is the rate ma? 22 percentage plus 10 percentage plus 4 percentage, total 25.168 percentage. 25.168 percentage. Clear? So as of now we discussed the tax rates including surcharge also. For whom? All. Individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP, domestic company, foreign company, cooperative society, local authority. Next one, partnership firm, LLP. Totally tax rates done. Please revise these all the tax rates. Tomorrow we can discuss about the health and education. Says I don't want to discuss because you know already income tax plus surcharge all together. On that we are required to apply 4%. That is only health and education says. Yes sir, tomorrow we will start the rebate concept also. Take a break. నేను దీన్ని పట్టుకోలేకపోతున్నాను.